glasses for a little bit. See if you guys recognize me. Hey, Heavenly Star. Hey, Praveen. It's yogi time. It is yogi time, and guess what? We're all yogis. Cat and Jack. Hey, Cat. I just noticed your name's different. Part of the email, right? It is different than your regular channel, I believe. Thanks for sharing the Jack slobber with us. I noticed that this morning when I actually saw the slobber and you hold it up to the camera. And I thought, I wonder if Kat's going to clip that. So I want to present this as an actual class because what I want everyone to be able to do, and I'll do this as many times as we want, as many times as we need. And as long as we're having fun. I want everyone to be able to do breath work on their own. I want you all to have the tools that I was fortunate to learn, that I was fortunate to attend certification classes in order not just to lead breathwork sessions, which are a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be part of that healing opportunity, but I want you guys to have the tools. What we were talking about this morning is that level of reactivity versus the level of responsiveness. So let's check in with that real quick. That on a scale of 0, which is sleep. Hey, Lucy. Is Lucy here? I didn't see. If I've missed Lucy, I apologize. I don't see that. Don't see her name. I don't know if Lucy's a member. Anyway, 0 is that sleep, deep state of relaxation, deep sleep of deep state of relaxation. In yoga, it's one of the 4 states of consciousness. 3rd state. We're at ease. When we're in deep sleep, we're not dreaming. Nothing is disturbed. There's just sleep. When we wake up, we're automatically at level 1 or 2, which is awake, but a little sluggish, a little slow. Maybe we do some breath work, and that helps us get to level 3, which is good. We are calm, we're responsive, we're loving, we're kind, we're attentive. We don't overreact to anything. And we cruise through the day, and maybe as we get more involved, we get up to level 4, maybe even level 5 if we're working out. All of that's good because stress is essential, but it's knowing what to do with stress that matters. If we don't use stress as a tool, as something useful, then it consumes us. It raises the blood pressure. It causes anxiety, panic attacks. It basically destroys our health. We blame stress, but it's not stress itself. It's our misperception or the misuse of stress that counts. So if we wake up and we get active and we're at level 2 and 3, then we get on our computer or we look at our phone or whatever, we read the newspaper, and all of a sudden we're at level 4 and level 5 and the day's barely started. We haven't even been active and involved. And then we get to work or we get to the shopping center, I almost said shopping store, or we attend a meeting or we do whatever, or we get online, and all of a sudden we're not even cruising. We're starting to hit that panic point at level 5, level 6. Traffic, kids, pets, spouses, bosses, strangers. 6, level 7. Doesn't take much to put us in a rage, does it? Has anyone here been on any end of a road rage incident? Either yourself or you just lost it. How dare that person not let me in? Or how dare that person want to get in front of me? I'm not going to let them in. They should wait in line like everyone else. Probably. I know I've been there on both ends, unfortunately. There might be a clip out there of just a yogi flipping people off on the highway. I'm not saying there is. There might be. My poor cat has a cold. She's sneezing. Did you hear? Hey, What's up? Wouldn't it be something if my cat was allergic to cats? She's up here sneezing because she's a cat. Anyway, I promise not to get on any tangent. This is actually me trying to be professional. Um, so what we want is the ability to increase our level of stress when we need it, decrease it when we don't. We want to be responsive. We should never be reactionary. Yogi Bear flipping people off. It hasn't happened in a while. Maybe because I don't have a car, or maybe because um, I've gotten more peaceful. You decide. Um, so when you hear me say no one should be reactive, you might think, well, what if I need to defend myself? What if I need to dodge something in traffic or whatever? You're not the one being reactive, because if you think I need to react, it's already too late. You need to be calm and cool so that your body is reactive. Your body does what it needs to do. You are giving that fight or flight for a reason. It's not meant for traffic situations that don't call for you to get out of the way of a speeding car. It doesn't call for you to flip someone off. It doesn't call for you to stick your chest out and confront someone in line because they bumped into you, because they're having a bad day too, because they didn't see you, because of whatever. That's not what the fight or flight is for. It's to save our lives when we are truly threatened. And how often are you truly threatened in life? But how often does your body, your mind react as if it is? That's what we want to avoid. We train ourselves to return to the natural state of responsiveness. We do that by getting up in the morning and producing just the right amount of stressful hormones, cortisol and neuroestrogen and adrenaline, just the right amount that we need. And if we need more, then we go back to the breath and we produce more. We're our own alchemist. This is our lab, as is what appears to be an outer world. Let's see. Heavenly Source says, I have or I hate people riding on my butt on the road. Yeah, but I don't want anyone else's action dictating how I do things. You know, I just don't want to anymore. I don't want to have buttons that someone can push on a whim. It's never about the other person, always about our response or our reaction to what appears to be another person. They're offering us a very important lesson. Get rid of the buttons. Be buttonless. There's a reason why you don't see me wearing shorts with buttons. I've eliminated all buttons in my life. T-shirts all the way down. And then in the afternoon, we do an even breath that keeps us calm, brings us back down a little bit if we've gotten a little too hyper focused, hyper tense, hyper stressed, whatever. Brings us back down. Or it can give us a little bit of energy if we need that. And then in the evening, we have a sleep hygiene, or to prepare us to get to sleep. Or we also use it if we're suffering anxiety, if we're on the verge of a panic attack, if we notice that we've been overreacting. Now we use that breath as well. And our morning breath is called coffee breathing. Any breath that is a stimulus, any breath that energizes, any breath that increases those stressful hormones is categorized as a coffee breathing technique. You don't want to bring a coffee breathing technique to a situation that calls for you to be to go to sleep, or maybe have a heart-to-heart talk with a family member. You just don't need it. Then we have water breathing. It's called water breathing because it mixes with anything. Water mixes with anything. That's the thing. That's the breath that brings us up a little bit, very nicely though, or brings us down a little bit, just a little bit. We're still able to be responsive when we need to. And then we have the whiskey breathing, which is the breath that really brings us down into that deep state of relaxation. Heavenly Source says they get very angry when I wave at them. Well, how are you waving? Are you doing a one finger wave? You're doing a single digit wave. Imagine getting angry because someone sticks a finger up. Imagine if that finger had no connotation set to it. It was just a finger. Wow, it's that finger that sits in the middle of the hand. How nice of them. Just shows you that everything's a interpretation. Everything is an interpretation. Heavenly Zafin says no. I would expect not. You're too sweet of a person. Just a nice friendly wave. I always try to do the beauty pageant wave. What is it? Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. And then people are like confused. Wait a minute. Was that just Miss America? Who waved at me? Was that Miss Maryland? I actually don't know how to do it. I have had a couple friends who competed in pageants, and they always talked about the elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. So we have the three categories of breathing: coffee breathing, wake us up, stimulate us; water breathing, keep us calm, even keeled; and then whiskey breathing. You know, now that you know that which one is, you know which breath to bring into the situation that it's called for. Most of these breaths we've done. There's always different variations. You want advanced breath work? Master the basics, and you will be advanced. So we're going to start with the basics. Um, Live stream's only going to last maybe half hours tops. So I want to make sure that I cover the basics. Number one basic is check in with your breath. How am I feeling? How am I breathing? Will tell you everything you need to know. Now you could check in with your body. Are my shoulders high and tight? My hands clenched? Is my jaw tight? Am I squinting? Generally, if I'm squinting, it means I don't have my glasses on. Um, and if you check in with your body, it'll tell you how you're breathing. Conversely, if you check in with your breathing, it'll tell you what's going on with your body. Change one, and the other begins to change. I think it's easiest to check in with your breath. Now, when you get up in the morning, you can do it's not the sniff test, it's the opposite. Blow on your finger. This isn't infallible, but it gives you a general sense of which side is dominant. Generally speaking, if you're breathing more, if you feel it more in the left corresponds to the parasympathetic, that rest and digest, that gentleness, the ease. More from the right is from the sympathetic, the fight or flight, the that stressor state. Again, neither is good nor bad. We just want to know where we are. And if sometimes we want to be more on the right because we're active, we're doing stuff, we're stocking shelves full of Pepsi. So we need to be on the go. We need to be in that sympathetic state. But when we get home, it's time to relax. We want to enter a little more fully. We want to be able to unwind. We don't have to always want to unwind with whatever tools we used to use. You know what I mean? So check in with your breath. Wherever you are in any situation, it's easy. Am I breathing through the nose? Or am I breathing through the mouth? Mouth breathing equates with being tense, with being stressed, because it triggers the fight or flight. When we needed to flee, we needed oxygen. It was a pretty bad imitation. But you get the point. We need that oxygen. We need oxygen being rushed to the lungs, to the limbs. We need to fight or we need to flee. When we are at rest, we generally start breathing through the nose, unless we've forgotten to breathe through the nose, which brings us to taping the nose shut, not duct tape, at night. If you need to remember, check with your breathing through the day, and you'll see. You might not need to, and if you don't need to, don't do it. It's just another tool. Tools are as necessary as they're needed. When they're not needed, we don't need to hold on to the tool. So we check in with our breathing, and then we can check in, and you can do that anywhere, in line, You can even do it as you're talking to your boss. You can even do it as you're talking to your kids. You can even do it when you are live streaming. Just check in. Nice and easy. And then we make some changes. Here's the basic breath. Homework to start with. This is called the easy breath in yoga, in pranayama. The easy breath is just that. I am breathing in through the nose and I am breathing out through the nose. I am not doing any length of time. I'm not breathing in for 4. I'm not breathing out for 8. All that comes in just a little bit. You can lie on your back. You can do it right here. You can sit up relatively straight. You never, in anything that we do, have to be completely rigid. Sit straight. Get that spine straight so that the energy, the kundalini, loads up and then is channeled back down. You like that little magical flourish? Hand on the belly, hand on the chest. Some teachers will have you put a book on your chest. That works. But you got a hand. Use a hand. And what I would like you to do, this is for you guys who are watching. This is for you guys who might watch this later. And I hope you do. Is go ahead and close your eyes. Hand on the chest, hand on the belly. Breathe in through the nose. And notice that your belly rises. Breathe out through the nose. Remember, this is an easy breath. And notice that your belly's falling. You want to feel that with your hand. You want to feel the movement of the belly. Rising, falling. This becomes a meditation. It's a great breath to do before you meditate. You have your hand on your chest because if I am breathing not from the diaphragm, I'm sucking in air, then my chest is going to move and I'm not breathing from the diaphragm. I'm breathing from the chest. See the difference? Well, you don't see the difference. Your eyes are closed. I hope. Chest is relatively still. If it moves a little bit, don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything. Just notice. And if the chest is moving, then put that attention on the belly. Breathe in, let the belly fill with air. Breathe out. Let the belly. I'm going to give you 2 little tools to use with this breath. One is the pranayama technique. You guys are familiar with it. Ujjayi breathing. That's translated from Sanskrit to victorious breath. We like to call it the ocean's breath. Because if you were to put a seashell up to your ear and you hear that sound of the ocean, that's the sound we're producing, as if we have a gentle snore. We make a ha sound, as if you're fogging up a bathroom mirror. But with your mouth closed. Now very gently see if you can imitate a snore as you breathe in. That ha sound very gently as you breathe in. Only you have to hear it, no one else. This tones the vagal nerve, which is one of the largest nerves in the body. It is the nerve that's responsible for bringing us from fight or flight back to rest and digest. We want it toned. We want it as a useful tool so that when we do get to that state, we can easily come back down. We're retraining the vagal nerve to be our friend. We're befriending our body. We're befriending our central nervous system. So we're tuned into the body, tuned into the body, tuned into the breath, and tuned into the sound of it. That's the easy breath. The hand on the belly, you feel it moving up and down. Hand on the chest is relatively still, and we have that ujjayi breathing. Now, as you're doing this breath, and we're doing it as a meditation, if you ever want to enter a deeper state of relaxation, just very gently, without even bothering to count, elongate the exhalation. Make it longer. Whatever is comfortable for you. Doesn't have to be big. Whatever is comfortable for you. Breathe in. Breathe in. And when you're ready, you can put your hands down and you can open your eyes. We have one more basic breath, and then we'll call it a day. I don't want people to overdose on just a yogi too much. And it's not just a yogi, it's that damn yogi. Damn yogi in my face again, telling me to breathe. Who does he think he is? Anyone still here? Don't mind giving me a thumbs up. Did you fall asleep? Did you get bored? Are you watching TV? Regardless, we're going to do the next. This is still with the basics. Thanks, Kat. Kat is still here. Thank you, Kat. The next breath in the basic, and we can approach this separately or together with the breath that we just did, is called the three-part yogic breath. And what we're going to do is, again, hand on the chest, hand on the belly. You can keep your eyes open for this, for the first few. We're going to breathe in purposely, filling the belly with air, starting with the lower belly. And then we're going to bring that breath, keep breathing, and expand the rib cage outwards. You might or you might not feel it. Doesn't matter. Just intend for that breath to deepen as if it is traveling up from the belly being filled to the rib cage, spreading outwards, all the way up into the upper chest, into the clavicles. You're breathing up into your clavicles, the bone right here. So my hand on my belly, my hand on my chest. I breathe in, filling my belly up through my nose, rib cage, all the way up into my chest. Now I reverse it. Clavicles, rib cage, belly. And do this 3 times, demonstrating. Breathing in. One more time. Down from the chest, rib cage, belly. So many benefits to this. We are learning how to use our breath as a tool. We're oxygenating the body. We're cleansing the lungs, detoxing the lungs. We're cleaning the mind. Very, very valuable breath. Another great breath to do before you meditate. 3 times or 10 times. That's a basic breath work that you can work anytime. Remember, advanced breath work is the basics that are mastered. The next session, I hope to do one Thursday. We're going to start using breaths in the 3 categories that I've mentioned. The good thing is, you guys have participated on the live streams using the breath, so you already know basically how to do them. Now it's just when to do them. And we'll be set. You will have every tool that you need. You won't need a yogi anymore. You are the yogi. You already are the yogi. I'll be obsolete, pushed to the sideline, ostracized. I didn't say ostracized because I mean that in the sense of actually being an ostrich. I love ostriches. Who doesn't love an ostrich? Anyway, there's one more tool that I wanted to give you, and now I don't remember what it was. Let's recap. You know the categories. Cat says, Cat's always on point. Knows exactly what to say, when to say it. You know the categories of breathing, why you want to do them. You want to do them to keep that level below 5, unless you need to go to 6. If you need to go 8 or 9, you don't need to do anything. You're going to go there automatically. You want to be able to come back down nice and easy. You don't want to carry the burdens of the day with you. The breath is going to teach you how to do that. You know the easy breath, the 3-part breathing. And you can do that anytime as its own little meditation, following the breath. Belly rising, belly falling. So simple, so relaxing. Once you have it, you don't need to put your hands up there. You can do that as you're standing in line. You can do that as you're getting ready for bed. It'll be part of your sleep routine, especially when you enter the Ujjayi breath. So for about a minute, 2 minutes, any questions? members only, but I might open it up after it's on and published. I might open it up to everyone. Let me know. Do you think it's has it proven to be valuable, that you think people would get something from it? You think everyone might be focused on, why isn't that guy wearing his glasses? Obviously he needs them. He keeps squinting at me. I might be squinting. I might be flirting. You don't know. You don't know the difference. Maybe I'm just a really bad flirt, or maybe I'm just a really good squinter. This is what happens when you guys don't have questions. I fill the space with my own, in my opinion, witty banter. And really, in reality, it's just babble. But hey, guess what? Since I realize my perceptions, I get to Cass says, wait, you're flirting? Obviously it's working. You laughed, right? My flirting has been working with you for a long time, Kat. All right, maybe it hasn't. Maybe it hasn't. In my mind. Um, so the question of the Kat, what I meant was, do you have any questions about breath work? Not questions about my flirting ability. Not questions about my flirting skills. You guys know I got mad skills, mad flirting skills. Um, all right, just about half an hour. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Offer on the live stream what I hope to be a helpful way that you guys can do this. I love you too, Kat. Thank you. And by the way, I'm going to use the Soma technique, but nobody knows that. No one can hear. I told you the flirting works. I am a good flirt. I feel like high-fiving myself. All right. I do love you. I do love you, Kat. And whoever watches this, either here as a member, and again, I hope being a member is worth your while. And if it's unmemorized, that's a word. If it's unmemorized and it gets out there in public, I hope one person who might need this stumbles across it and finds it useful. So I love you. I love you guys. Take care.